left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse. Very simple. Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth.
Kids especially need to see a therapist before making any sort of permanent medical decisions like going on hormone blockers and surgeries especially. I mean, they don't even know what they want for dinner the next day, let alone what gender they are. The biggest mistake that I made was that I did not get the right amount of therapy or medical advice needed. These days, if you tell a parent if their child thinks that they might be transgender or has gender dysphoria, to wait and really consider it and maybe seek other therapy, you're just seen as transphobic now because you're not accepting people.
Anything. In fact, I was reading an article by R.C. Sproul just yesterday in which he said that the greatest revolution in American history was neither the American Revolution or the Industrial Revolution. It is the sexual revolution. This has become the most far-reaching, damaging of all revolutions that's ever occurred in this country or any other. The problem with buying into this is it is a kind of personal suicide. It is literally the end of your existence in the way that God designed you.
Your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus. I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that. And we're making some progress.
In fact, the scripture has such a high view of the body that right now, Jesus, after he died on the cross for you, and after he walked out of the tomb on the third day, he ascended back into heaven, is in heaven right now in a glorified body. Scripture does not have a low view of your body at all. The scripture says your body was given to you by God. The origin of your body is from him. You've been fearfully and wonderfully made. You are designed. Therefore, because you've been designed, that points to a designer.
Why do you think Elon Musk went all out to support and campaign for President-elect Donald Trump to be the President of the United States of America? It's the same reason many Christian leaders publicly backed Donald Trump's presidency, which I will expose by the end of this video. Hello, Anointed Ones. Welcome to today's video, and let's dive into the subject matter. The world's richest man with a net worth of approximately $290 billion backed U.S. President-elect Donald Trump and gave at least $133 million to his successful campaign, in addition to his high profile.
Believe in the teachings of Christ. I believe, that he's I believe in the Christian principles. Love thy neighbor. I believe in turn the other cheek, which is very important to have forgiveness. Because if you don't have forgiveness, then you have an endless cycle of retribution.
But what was in it for him? Experts say more money may not be Elon Musk's motivating factor. So why would he risk it all to support Trump? On 31st January 2023, Donald Trump released this video announcing a Biden policy that he would revoke on the first day after being sworn in as the next president. This is the bait that made Elon Musk pledge to support Donald Trump, since it aligned with his vow of destroying the woke mentality.
On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. A process that includes giving kids puberty blockers, mutating their physical appearance, and ultimately performing surgery on minor children. Can you believe this? I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. I will declare that any hospital or healthcare provider that participates in the chemical or physical mutilation of minor youth will no longer meet federal health and safety standards for Medicaid and Medicare and will be terminated from the program immediately. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients, in this case, very vulnerable. We will also investigate whether Big Pharma or others have illegally marketed hormones and puberty blockers which are in no way licensed or approved for this use. My Department of Education will inform states and school districts that if any teacher or school official suggests to a child that they could be trapped in the wrong body, they will be faced with severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations for sex discrimination and the elimination of federal funding. As part of our new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family, the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports, and we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new and an identity without the parents' consent. The identity will not be new, and it will not be without parental consent. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
Musk's support for Trump is rooted in a personal fight against the woke mindset he blames for influencing his son's transition journey. He knew that even if he could not save his son, who he considers dead, after he transitioned to a girl, he had an opportunity to save many children with Trump's presidency who would repeal gender-affirming care in America. Musk recently opened up about his son, who now identifies as female. Reports suggest Musk believes his son's transition was influenced by what he calls a woke ideology promoting gender fluidity.
It happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier. This was before I had really any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, and so there was a lot of confusion. I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he didn't.
That was a lie right from the outset.
Incredibly evil, and I agree with you that people that have been promoting this should go to prison.
That's
so I was
connection.
tricked into doing this, it wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs. Anyway, and so I lost my son essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah,
All right. So the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and there's lots of people in that situation now.
Right.
It's not pretty, and lots of demolished kids.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason to be the final straw. All right, so let's.
So I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that. And we're making some progress.
Join the club.
Yeah.
While Musk hasn't always been vocal about his stance on gender identity issues, he has shared his frustrations with the growing social influence on young people's identities. To him, Trump represents an ally who could challenge policies that support gender-affirming care for minors, which Musk seems to view as premature. Reports indicate Musk believes the societal push toward gender transitions, particularly for minors, is too forceful and needs reevaluation. This personal struggle may have played a significant role in Musk's decision to back Trump, a candidate who has made clear his intention to reverse Biden's policies on gender-affirming care. Donald Trump's recent election victory has fueled debates across the nation, especially around the policies he plans to tackle in his first days in office. His campaign promises included a pledge to revisit and roll back policies such as gender-affirming care for minors, labeling it as misguided, and claiming they ignore the interests of children and families. Trump's administration aims to implement policies that give parents more control over such life-changing decisions, claiming that they should have the final say over these matters, not schools or institutions promoting woke ideology. For some, Trump's promises represent a return to traditional family values and parental rights. Trump's administration aims to prioritize biological reality over what some argue is a socially constructed identity. This development marks a new chapter in America's culture wars, where personal beliefs and experiences are reshaping political alliances. Musk's support for Trump has brought new energy to debates around the impact of woke culture on families and personal lives. What are your thoughts on Musk's unexpected support for Trump? Do you believe this alliance will have a lasting impact on America's approach to gender policies? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos. God bless you.